Loam is a ceramics studio located just outside Petersfield, on the border between Hampshire and West Sussex, and I've been running workshops here since the end of 2018 after leaving a job in financial services. Within the studio, I've tried to make it a very light, calm environment for people to just come and spend a few hours making. Generally, with all my workshops, I try and keep them to quite a small number of people. So it's typically between 4 and 6 people. And what that means is that I can then tailor every session to the specific needs of each student, which is quite nice. The studio also has a pretty good range of different types of pottery throwing workshops. So you could come and do a 2.5-hour taster session, which is great for people who have never thrown before. You could come and do a longer one-day course, which is very popular with people who want to spend some time with friends or family. And as well as you could come and do an 8-week course, which will then show you the full making process. And in the new year, I'll be launching a new 5-day intensive course, which basically is similar to the 8-week course, but it's compressed. It's good for people who just haven't got the time to come once a week for 8 weeks. And hopefully by giving that range, it gives people a lot of choice, and within that, they will hopefully find something that works for their lifestyle. A lot of people come to the studio and they say, oh, I'm not very creative, and I've never been good at art. But yes, there is obviously a creative element to it, but a lot of it is around working with your hands, concentrating your mind, just focusing on an activity for a few hours. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be creative or artistic to be good at it. So I think that pottery throwing is very accessible to a lot of people. And people have often seen it on TV via various programs or in the past. And it works well for me because people come with very low expectations and think they're going to leave with nothing. And actually, by the end of one of the workshops, you should finish with 3 pots. And they're usually of a pretty good standard. So people often surprise themselves at, the kind of things they finish with, which is also a really nice process. The studio is an old converted barn. I think it was just a milking parlour before 2009, but it's got such beautiful light. And the beauty of it is as the seasons change and as the days get longer, you get so many different types of light coming in throughout the year, which is really lovely. It's 2 rooms. So one room I typically use for teaching throwing, and the other room I use as a little bit retail space. Other artists use it for their workshops, like the calligraphy workshops and the jewellery workshops, and I also put on and host the lunches in that room.